Hi Scorpio, welcome to your weekly check-in for the 22nd to the 28th of October. If you would like a personal reading, then please send me an email. The information is in the description box under the video. As usual, you're welcome to like, share or comment on the video, and you are also welcome to subscribe to the channel. The books you can see here in front of you are from the Oracle decks I'm going to be using for today's reading, and yes, this is the Akashic Tarot, so it is like an alternative tarot deck, but for me it's always felt like more of an oracle deck. So I'll be using it for oracle messages at the end of the reading. With the Whispers of Love deck, I was very drawn to using this like days before I started recording the videos. At first I wasn't sure why, but I don't know if it's because it's winter. This deck has like a sort of self-love, self-care vibe for me. Yes, it can be about romance as well. There are a lot of cards to do with romance in it. But again, self-love came into it. And self-love, it's not just about declaring that you love yourself. Self-care isn't just about treating yourself occasionally, is it? Both of those things are about consistently honoring, nurturing, nourishing your overall well-being. So mentally, emotionally, physically and spiritually as well. And I feel that that takes practice, and it is a practice in itself as well. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves to take care of ourselves. But anyway, let's get on with your reading. So we're going to start off with an oracle card from the Whispers of Love deck first of all, and that will be like your main theme for the week, for the weekly check-in. So what does Scorpio need to know? What does Scorpio need to know for their main theme or focal point for their weekly check-in, please? That came out so nicely and easily. I'm really happy about that. Right, it says, listen with your heart. You are listening, but need to hear with a loving heart. Right. And next we're going to get your main theme with the tarot card. So I'm using the Rider-Waite, which I believe is the very first deck I ever bought. If not the first, then the second, but I have a feeling it was the first. It was several years ago now, so yeah, I can't remember the exact details of some things. So what is Scorpio's main theme or focal point with the tarot deck as well? I'm going to try that again. That didn't feel right. Well, that was definitely a dramatic flip or fly. You've got the Four of Swords there. So the Four of Swords is often about rest. It can be about healing. For me, it can be about deep contemplation sometimes. It almost looks like he's praying there as well, doesn't it? But sometimes for me, it can be like telepathy almost. I don't know why that's... I mean, I guess because you've got the Listen with Your Heart card. Telepathy's come into mind, but we'll see what other messages come up with that. So what's your energy specifically? Okay. King of Cups. And King of Cups, so he could be potentially like a spiritual teacher. I know we speak of the King of Cups as being someone who knows how they feel. They have very deep emotions, but they don't often express how they feel. So there could be something here about honoring your emotions, but I will note that there is a very spiritual side to the King of Cups as well. So any external or surrounding energies. I like how those landed on the Listen with Your Heart card. Right, I've got King of Wands. He can also be quite spiritual because the wands are spiritual, but he's like very proactive, very passionate. And then you've got the Five of Wands. So bit of conflict there, maybe a bit of a power struggle of some kind with the Five of Wands. With the King of Wands, or something could be a challenge about taking on that King of Wands energy. Let's get your guidance. And then you have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So let's get your clarifiers and see what else comes up. So let's look at that Four of Swords as your main theme or focal point. I mean, the Four of Swords for me as well, if it's talking about listen to with your heart, Four of Swords for me sometimes can be where you need to cut the noise out and the anything external to you that's like disturbing your peace and preventing you from thinking clearly or sort of hearing your own voice. Sometimes it can be that. It's like needing silence, needing peace and quiet to be able to think clearly. Let's that was really quick. I'm going to try that again. It was the two of wands. What else is coming out for that Four of Swords, please? Queen of Swords. I mean, that is your truth, isn't it? That would be your like your internal. I mean, she's not afraid to express her truth externally, but to have her own truth, she does need to be able to hear herself think, doesn't she? She needs the space, the time and space to formulate her own thoughts and her own truth. Anything else for that Four of Swords? Oh, wow. I love when they just land on it perfectly like that. That's interesting. We've got the Magician. And the Magician can be to do with psychic communication as well. It's like connection. I can't remember the correct terms now, but there is a connection between communication with the like higher realms, if you want to call it that, or whatever. But it is a card of manifestation, creation as well, using the abilities that you have. And I say abilities, so there really could be something about psychic ability potentially here. Okay, anything else? Anything else with the Four of Swords, Nine of Swords? I mean, that would be, yes, it is. It can be anxiety. It can be stress. It can be being kept up at night. There could be external factors creating that like mental disharmony. And again, it's where it feels like this Four of Swords is kind of where you like need the peace and quiet to think clearly and cut this shit out here, this Nine of Swords energy. Temperance, I mean, that's a very spiritual card as well. It can be about harmony, peace, which you would need with that Nine of Swords going on. You'd want that, but there's a spiritual connection as well. It can be an angelic guidance. So maybe there is something, again, maybe there's something here where somebody's needing to listen to their, if you believe in guides, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, God, spirit, source, it may be needing peace and quiet to listen to that, because that's your heart, isn't it? It's spiritual, but it's your heart too. Shall I get one more? I will get one more for that. And I think I might sub-clarify. I might sub-clarify the Magician out of curiosity. So let's get one more for that Four of Swords. So we've got the Page of Pentacles. And one fell on the floor. And it is the Devil. Okay. So I mean, that again, that just feels like the interference, anything that's holding you back from hearing yourself think clearly. Page of Pentacles, I'm just going to sub-clarify that because that's like a wild card in everything now, isn't it? Maybe there's something you need to learn here. Four of Pentacles, that's like a blockage, isn't it? That's interference. Oh, wow. Okay. That's all cards of... So that's the blockage. That would be what causes the blockage. Could be that there's something you need to learn, but there's some kind of interference, or there's something you need to do to think clearly, and you're not doing it, or you're not doing enough of it. Like, say, if you're someone that likes to meditate, for example... I personally struggle to meditate. I can't, like, my mind is always, there's always something going on in there, so I really can't, I don't do it. I've tried it, but it's too hard. Too hard for me. It's supposed to make life easier, isn't it? But say if you were someone that likes to meditate, and that is your typical way of kind of listening to your inner voice, your inner guidance, and figuring things out, but you haven't been doing it much lately, that would be like a blockage for you. Maybe or there's some other practice that helps you to relax and clear your mind. It kind of feels like you're not doing enough of it to sort of clear the internal clutter, or to sort of give yourself the time and space to think. But there could, as I say, there could be something that you need to learn here, but there's just interference all around, everywhere, getting in the way of it. So let's put these back. You may not be giving enough to yourself, to be frank. Giving yourself enough nurturing and self-care and whatever it is you need to think and hear clearly. Right, so as I said, we've got the King of Cups here. Let's clarify that. That's your energy. So I would say you know how you feel about something, or there's a need to express. Maybe the point is that if you're not getting what you need to hear your inner voice or your higher self or whatever, you need to express that. Why is the King of Cups here, please? So we've got the Page of Cups. That's connected to, so you're getting a lot of cards to do with psychic stuff in here. That Page of Cups can be associated with psychic abilities as well. We've got the Tower. Anything else? I mean, it can represent the inner child as well, how you feel. The Tower, the Hermit, those are quite big cards. You could almost consider the Tower and the Hermit to be an awakening of some kind in a way. I mean, that would be the inner self and the inner knowing. You've got the Nine of Cups there. That's like your own fulfillment, satisfaction. Eight of Pentacles. That's to do with where you put your time and energy and the work that you do. Could be inner work potentially. I'm going to clarify that Tower, or sub-clarify the Tower, and see what that's about. Well, something ending obviously and going into a new cycle with the world. Okay, again, something ending, something being disappointing, something hurting. Try again. I'm going to do the Page of Cups as well, because okay, so that's where you become sort of independent, isn't it? So whatever's happened, something may have ended and you've had to become independent and kind of go off on your own path towards your own satisfaction. So let's do the Page of Cups. Or it may be that you are thinking about ending something potentially. Maybe that's what your heart's trying to tell you, is that something needs to end. That's too many. Or you may know this, you may already know this, you may already feel that something needs to end, but there's interference in there that's causing you to have doubts or something. So Page of Cups. That does feel like the inner child, like the intentions of the inner child. And they are very pure intentions, very innocent. With the Page of Cups there, again, interference. It's like you probably know how you feel, you know what you want and you know what you want to do. But again, we've got interference here. Let's look at the Eight of Pentacles on its own. Right, so you've got a card of juggling there. Six of Cups. I keep hearing inner work with the Eight of Pentacles. So again, it could be inner work. So we've got another card representing like children or the past, potentially the inner child as well, with that Six of Cups. Let's just get one more. I'll put these back and take the ones that are upright. So that's definitely leaving something behind and going on a new path and exploring. It still feels like inner work, to be honest. I don't know why. I mean, say if it was with... Say if this was Eight of Pentacles, I mean, it is not far from the Hermit, is it? Say if it was with the Hermit or the High Priestess or something like that, I would 100% say it's definitely to do with inner work, but it feels like inner work anyway. The Two of Pentacles for me is like assessing things that have happened already, the past. The Emperor here, this may be something about where you need to take control in your life. sort of assessing what you need to leave behind and what you want to go towards. But the Eight of Pentacles really feels like inner work. The Hermit, Nine of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, it feels like doing the inner work. Self-assessment, not in the sense of taxis, but inner self-assessment about what you feel and what you know. But you need to be able to, as it says here, listen with your heart. You are listening, but need to hear with a loving heart. Are you feeling guilty about anything, about leaving anything behind potentially, or taking any kind of action with regard to anything? Right, I'm going to leave that there. So yeah, I would say that King of Cups, it's kind of like knowing how you feel, and kind of, it's like you need to do inner work, but you need the time and space to be able to think clearly, to make the best decisions for you, potentially. Let's get these cards back in the deck. I'll just give it one more shuffle. So external energy, King of Wands, and the Five of Wands. So I did say something about a power, potentially a power struggle. It's almost like if you're that King of Wands energy, you want to be proactive and make a move and move forward. But then there's that conflict here with the or a challenge with that Five of Wands. What do we need to know about that, please? So yeah, Page of Wands is like it's the immature version of the King of Wands that's been ready to explore. Justice card is what's fair and right and just for you, isn't it? Anything else? Anything else? We've got the Three of Swords in reverse, King of Pentacles, King of Cups. This is like not taking control in a way, isn't it? So the King of Pentacles is someone who's ready to build. Let's clarify the King of Pentacles and see before I start trying to make judgments on it. Is there a worry here that if you do something that you love or choose something that you love and sort of listen to your heart, that you'll end up in poverty or left out in the cold somehow? Do the King of Cups as well. That's not opening up, is it? And it may not even be about not opening up to other people. It may be within yourself that you just like really shut in. You know, like when you shut down your emotions potentially. Anything else? Is that the conflict? Is that the Five of Wands, that you like shutting down your emotions and having doubts about what you want to create, what you want to do? Four of Swords upright for me is like where you find in the peace, and this is just Four of Swords in reverse. It's not peace. There's no peace there. Your peace is disturbed. And then you have the Ace of Wands. What comes after that? It's almost like you feel like your peace is going to be disturbed if you try to go for what you want, if you listen to your heart and do what you want or go for what you want in a weird way. Why is the Three of Swords in reverse? You may feel like it, be thinking about whether or not something's going to turn out right for you, or if you're going to get hurt with Justice next to the Three of Swords. But why is the Three of Swords in reverse? There might be a little bit of contradiction. You might be going through a little bit of internal contradiction, yeah, possibly, because you've got all these cards. So the Page of Wands is like ready. You've got the King of Wands, first of all. That's someone who's proactive. And then you've got the Page of Wands. They're willing to go out and explore. With Justice, it's to go off and get what's right for them. you've got the Three of Swords in reverse, which is, it's almost feeling like it's being willing to, kind of feels like being willing to take a risk, like having hope. You know, in situations where there is the potential that you could get hurt, but you're kind of like willing to take the risk to do it. You have hope, you have faith that it could work, it could come together. It's almost like you're willing to take control, but then you've got all these completely contradictory cards of the King of Pentacles in reverse, where you're reluctant to go for what you love in case you get left out in the cold, end up in poverty, get hurt. King of Cups, where he's in reverse as well. So it's like you know what you feel, but you're completely unwilling. It's like almost like you're trying to shut the emotions down, because maybe you feel like your peace will be disturbed and you'll end up disappointed if you go for what it is that you're passionate about. So it's like a conflict, a lot of conflict there. So it's like there's a desire to go for what you want, but the conflict of not knowing how it's going to turn out, or fearing that it's going to turn out wrong, or trying to reject. I mean, are there any cards of rejection? Has the Four of Cups come up? I don't know. Don't think it has. But it's like almost in two minds of whether you want to reject what it is that you want because it may not go your way, but also wanting it as well. The desire's there as well. So I'm just putting the sub-clarifiers back in the deck. So that's probably why you need peace to figure things out, because you've just got this conflict. And the external, I mean, it's probably within yourself, but it could be outside influences as well. Like, you know, and you hear people, if you have a dream or something and you hear people criticize that dream, and then it kind of puts you off, doesn't it, in a way? So let's look at the Knight of Pentacles and see what that means. That's your guidance, that's your advice. So why is the Knight of Pentacles there, please? That would be the rejection card, wouldn't it? The Four of Cups, that's a card of rejection. Right, so Four of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Anything else? King of Swords knows what he wants. Which way was that? I'm going to take it upright. King of Swords, they know what they want, and the Fool is where you're willing to go for it. You're willing to take a risk and take a leap of faith and go for it, but you would have to come out of this Four of Cups energy. And I think I'll sub-clarify that, but let's just get one more after this. Two of Pentacles, that's potentially uncertainty, isn't it? Right, so we're clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. I would say the advice is that you have to decide to commit to something, whether it be commit to yourself, or whether you kind of know in your heart what it is that you want and then choose to commit to that, or whether you need to commit to actually listening to your heart in the first place. That may come into play. It may be about committing to choosing to stop rejecting what it is your heart wants, because that's one cup there, so that's what would be fulfilling, isn't it? And it's like she's rejecting that. Why is the Four of Cups there, please? Two of Cups, that's connection. It's connecting to someone or something that you love, that fulfills you. Anything else? Nine of Wands. The World. It's like you feel it would be a struggle. Do you feel like whatever it is that you love, or if you choose to go towards what you love or connect with what you love, it's just going to be a complete battle? Is that why you're rejecting it? Anything else for that Four of Cups, please? Does it feel too hard for you? Is there something about it that feels too hard? So you've got the Empress. She's in reverse. I mean, upright, she's abundant, isn't she? And then in reverse, it's that reluctance again of, will it be abundant? Will it work? Whether it's whatever it is. Let's get one more for that. So following on from that, you get the Page of Swords. That's where you're sort of willing to learn, though, or you would need to be open and willing to learn within the situation. there's no guarantees. I say it quite a lot. There's no guarantees. Whatever fear we have, we just have to. It's easier said than done, but fearless isn't about having zero fear. It's about knowing that you are afraid of something, but being willing to try it and to learn as you go. If it goes wrong, you change how you do things, you course correct, you may have to cut your losses and start again, but it's that willingness to pursue it anyway. Let's sub-clarify the Two of Pentacles. I feel like it's the overall guidance is about committing and taking the steps, taking the small steps towards what it is what you want. The steps would be, first of all, overcoming this Four of Cups energy of rejecting what your heart wants. That would be the first step. That will help to change things initially. You become certain about what you want. Then you're ready to take the risk and pursue it. And I'm going to sub-clarify the Two of Pentacles to see... Oh God, that's juggling between the opportunity and whether it will be abundant or not, and conflict. Let's get one more for that. Of course, a bunch of them have to fall on the floor, don't they? So you get the Two of Wands, the Four of Wands. Right, so that is, it's a given, isn't it? Anything that you want to go for, how often the things that people really want from their heart come easily to them. Often it is a challenge. I mean, Five of Wands is a challenge, isn't it? And it's like the Two of Pentacles here. It's like being willing to take on the challenge, and you're the one that creates the balance between the thing that you desire, the efforts that you put in, the actions you take towards what you desire, and the challenges that come with it as well that you have to overcome. So that's where the balance comes into things. Right, so overall advice is taking the small steps, or each individual step, towards what your heart wants. So first of all, not rejecting what your heart wants and being willing to actually connect with it, even if there's fear there. Knowing for certain what you want once you stop rejecting it, being willing to take the risk, and balancing the challenges plus the efforts it takes to pursue it. So hopefully I can remember all of that for the title of your video. Okay. But yeah, it starts with listening to what your heart actually wants and not rejecting it, and then you can take the steps from that point forward. So I'm going to get you a final card of advice from the Akashic Tarot. We'll see what comes out with that. What else does Scorpio need to know as their final final bit of advice? So you have Archangel Gabriel. So that's a card of communication and expression. And you also have Five of Roses, the Garden, which is about children, but we'll see what else comes out. I mean, that could be that whole inner child thing, listening to your heart, inner child, because children don't necessarily, if they have dreams or things that their heart wants, they don't worry about how hard it is to get it. They're just so open and innocent. It's like they're willing to pursue anything, aren't they? Anything that they get a feeling for, they're just going to go for it. So let's look at the Archangel Gabriel card. This deck has a message. It has a message for the card being upright and one for it being in reverse. I'm going to read both because it may be relevant to someone, whichever bit of it there is, it may be relevant anyway. So it says, upright, Gabriel is the divine messenger, the archangel of communication. He comes with his trumpet and scroll as well as two gentle sparrows, signifying powerful yet peaceful expression. On his chest he wears the crest of Mercury, the god of communication. This loving angel carries the sacred words of truth into the world and brings them to you easily. When this card appears upright, it indicates a profound connection to this wonderful presence. Your power of expression is on the rise now. You will have an easier time communicating with others, expressing your feelings, and even working on projects involving communication, such as publishing, counseling, teaching, mediumship, journalism, marketing, radio, or television. Now is the time for any of these endeavors, but no matter what you do, remember the power of words. Call on Gabriel to inspire you and let yourself sing out. And this is where I think I spoke at the beginning about psychic communication or listening to your higher self or something. I take it that I don't know much about the angels or archangels or whatever, but I take it that this would be one of the angels who would help in terms of listening to your higher self and divine communication, but I'm not certain about that. So if anybody knows more about that, feel free to say that in the comment section. Right, reversed. Gabriel appearing reversed indicates that you may be having a difficult time where communication is concerned. Yep, I think that's apparent in this reading internally. You're not speaking out for yourself, or you're filling your own mind with negative words. This could be a life lesson for you, something you've needed to change for a long time. Gabriel is a powerful force that can bring divine love and courage to your expression, and his help is yours for the asking. It's up to you to reach out to this wonderful angel who is always available and willing to help. Let his peaceful yet powerful presence fill you with courage now. This angel has been a friend to your soul throughout the history of the Akashic records. This time of confusion or disruption in communication is a perfect opportunity to reawaken yourself to that profound help as well, and to your worthiness and power to express yourself and speak your truth. So figure out what you need to say. Meditate, which I was saying I can't meditate. Meditate on Gabriel's loving presence and start to get comfortable hearing your own positive and powerful voice. I like that. It's time to speak up, not shut up. Yep, keep that in mind. Get comfortable hearing your own positive and powerful voice. I think that's key here, is that listen with your heart. The Akashic Force message says, feel the Archangel Gabriel step before you and place his hand upon you. He fills you with the will to express your words. What do you want to share and with whom? And I'm going to mark that page because it may come in useful for the title. So let's look at Five of Roses, the garden. So the garden says, the upright message, two children play in a sunny, lush green garden. A boy shoots a slingshot while a girl next to him watches a butterfly in the flowers with a magnifying glass. If children aren't a part of your life already, this card could show their arrival. It could also indicate that your children, even adult children, could become more of a focus for you. They may have some concerns of their own, but even so, opportunities for things to mend come easily right now. There also may be real change and benefit for one of your children who has made a special effort recently. This is a very advantageous time for the children around you. Enjoy it and help them enjoy it too. The reverse message says this reversal may reveal that one or more of your children or significant children in your life are having some difficulties. The situation isn't easy, and those involved may be playing the blame game. This may take some time to work out. Others in the family or professional help may bring some benefit, but it may be slow going. Try to support your children without interfering too much. Be patient and compassionate. There are easier times to come for your children and for you with your children. Let things unfold as they will. A special note says, whether upright or reversed, you can look to the adjacent card, the one toward which the boy is shooting and the girl is looking, to get more insight on the children around you and their issues. Apply the details and people in this nearby card to the present and future children in your life. And the Akashic Force message says, close your eyes. Stepping into the garden, become the child. I think this part's the most important for this message. Stepping into the garden, become the child you used to be in heart and mind. Let the child within you take a look around for one of the children in your life who is also playing here. What new perspective do you have when the child you are meets a child around you? So they are pointing and looking at nothing because there's nothing else around them. I feel it's probably more to do with your inner child needing support. And it's really funny how we've got the Page of Wands and Page of Cups, two kids on top of here. It feels more like inner child. There could be something relevant about children for someone watching the video, but it does. I feel like that become the child you used to be in heart and mind part is really, really relevant to this message. And I will leave it there. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Thank you very much for watching the video. Again, if you want a personal reading, please send me an email. Information is in the description box below the video. Again, if you want to like, share or comment on the video, please do so. And as usual, you're welcome to subscribe to the channel. But until the next reading, please take care.